My, how things have changed over the last couple of months. There's been a lot of crazy developments in the crypto space, from Bitcoin tanking, Ethereum tanking, Dogecoin going down to 5 cents and staying there. We have places like Celsius and other exchanges that have frozen accounts and won't let people take their money out, and everything looked pretty bleak over the last couple of months in the world of crypto. Until this week. So on Wednesday, we've seen this huge spike, and it's been a little trickle over the last week, but a real big spike came up over the last 24 hours, where Bitcoin is back up over 23,000 for the first time in a long time, and all the other cryptocurrencies seem to be elevating. A lot of this has to do with some news as far as Bitcoin is concerned about the Fed possibly easing up a little bit on some of its restraints and constrictions and the movements it's making to kind of handle inflation and the possible, most likely, definitely recession that the United States is going to be in. But there is something else that has very much sparked a lot of interest in crypto, and that is Ethereum finally going into the merge. The merge sounds all weird. It's like some sci-fi thing or whatever, but I'm going to talk about it in this video and let you know what's going on and whether or not it's a good time for you to keep investing into Ethereum, or if this is just something that's kind of a blip in the road as we continue to go back down in prices and valuations for the cryptocurrency space. Welcome to Wrestling with Finance, the YouTube channel for people who have wrestled with finance in the past and look to do better with it in the future. And what we've got today with the merge is something that they've been talking about for a very long time. So how is this going to affect everybody in the Ethereum world? How is this merge? What is this merge? What is it going to do? Is it going to make everybody a lot happier and a lot richer? I'm sure that's what you're wondering. Well, the merge is basically them taking two branches and putting them together. And anybody who's worked in software development or anything slightly related to that field will know about branches. And you have different branches of code, and there's a mainline branch which they've been working on, and then there's this other branch that they are now going to merge into the branch that it currently exists. Also, if you have dreadlocks, you're quite familiar with merges and splits and everything else. They're quite annoying. So what's called the Bitcon chain is where Ethereum developers over the last several years have been developing this way of using proof of stake as opposed to the main chain that they're on right now, which is proof of work. Now, these are two terms that you may or may not be familiar with, and if you're not familiar with, and I assume some of the people that are looking at this video on this channel are not going to be familiar with some of these terms. So proof of work is essentially what Bitcoin and Ethereum and what a lot of the blockchains usually use for cryptocurrency, where there's kind of a competition between different miners. They'll have complex code that they'll have to mine. There's kind of a competition for it, and they get paid on completing these code blocks. It's kind of like, think about it like a Rubik's Cube, and the more you complete, the more you get done, and then you can verify that that Rubik's Cube has been finished and completed correctly, and then move on to the next chain. That is called proof of work. And then there's proof of stake. Sounds yummy.
Look at how nice this steak looks. Uncle Roger hungry now.
But not that kind of steak. You know what I'm You knew that joke was coming. But proof of stake essentially is when you as a miner have your own money at stake, and you completing this chain and completing the transactions and completing the code block. There's kind of a random assignment. You're going to get it, you're going to work on it, and you're going to complete it. And that is a more efficient system. Proof of stake is a lot better than proof of work. I'm sure you've heard a lot of the concerns about people about the environmental impact of Bitcoin mining and Ethereum mining and cryptocurrency mining because of the amount of energy that it takes to actually do the mining of the coins. It also reduces the number of attacks because there's a 51% assurance that, you know, if somebody's misbehaving on the chain or they're not doing things correctly, that they're going to get dinged a lot more than the proof of work model. Plus, there's the reduced hardware requirements, which reduces the barrier to entry. One of the problems with a lot of people getting into mining is because it costs so much to run the equipment. But with proof of stake, that barrier is reduced, so more people theoretically are going to get involved in mining. It's going to be more efficient and going to cost a lot less. This is also to minimize the amount of attacks. As you probably have seen recently over the last year, there have been a lot of attacks. So this will make the Ethereum network a lot more secure and, again, a lot more efficient, which is really where they've been trying to go to for the last several years. And now it appears that they're finally going to be able to get there very soon. Now, the amount of testing involved with this is tremendous. I can't even imagine what kind of test plans and what kind of a test tree that they have in order to test all of this stuff to make sure it's secure. But at the end of the day, we're going to have a much more secure Ethereum network. We're going to have more people being able to become miners, and the mining, again, will be more ecologically friendly, which a lot of people like. Now, Ethereum talked about how, like, you can compare this to like a rocket ship or something, and like they're making a better rocket ship. I think probably an easier comparison, as far as me explaining it to you guys, would be, think about a electric vehicle and how electric vehicles are better than gas-powered vehicles as far as their environmental impact, theoretically. But let's take that another step, because one of the concerns about EVs is the fact that they run on electricity, which does require coal, which does requires a strain on the network at points. But think about this merge as them moving an electronic vehicle to a self-sustaining solar power panels that will do that without having to mine all the coal in order to run the vehicles. They'll have a much more ecologically friendly and an easier way of recharging those electric vehicles that's more sustainable, and again will allow more people to get involved with it, because you won't have to have some big power station at your house in order to have an electric vehicle. And if you don't have a garage, then you pretty much can't get one. Now, the timetable is not exactly precise with these things. You never have precise timetables when you're merging two branches together, but it's going to happen relatively soon. And because of all that enthusiasm, it's bringing some light into the cryptocurrency space, which has been sagging lately, with a lot of people having a lot of concerns, thinking that the whole thing is busted, thinking that the bottom has fallen out, and really a lot of people pulling their money out of the cryptocurrency space, as we've seen with all of the massive drops in the major coins and some other coins disappearing. And as I mentioned before, you have certain brokerages that have basically frozen people's money because they don't have enough capital to be able to pay everybody back if everybody takes out their cash. So does this mean that you should get back into Ethereum if you've dropped out of it? Well, first off, I would say you probably shouldn't have dropped out of it. The thing about the cryptocurrency space and a lot of these investment platforms is that they go through cycles. We've talked about this before. There'll be ups and there'll be downs, especially in the cryptocurrency space, which tends to have massive swings down and massive swings up. So if you want to capitalize on this, there are links down below to Coinbase. You can take advantage of that and get involved with Coinbase. If you do want to still try to use one of these exchanges to earn interest on, Vault is one that is still operating pretty well and has a pretty good track record so far. And of course, you can also just buy your Ethereum on Coinbase or FTX or something like that, and then take it off and put it on cold storage on a cold storage device. And again, I've mentioned this before, and I think in the near future, probably in the next couple of weeks, I will be having a tutorial on here about how to actually do that, how to transfer something if you have your coins on Coinbase, or if you have them on Vault, or if, God forbid, you have them on BlockFi or Celsius or something, and you are able to get it off Celsius, how to transfer those coins onto cold storage so you actually have hold of them. Now, you're not going to gain interest on that, but you will be able to have your coins in a more secure place as opposed to on a network that could shut down tomorrow. So as of right now, this week, things are looking up for the cryptocurrency community. And hey, if you have any questions or comments or concerns about what's going on with Bitcoin, about what's going on with the merge, anything like that, be sure to let your voice be heard in the comment box below. Until next time, I will be here for more news, rumors, and all kinds of information in the cryptocurrency space, the stock market, and anything dealing with personal finance here on Wrestling with Finance. Thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it very much, and I will see you soon. Be safe.